All right, our conversation for this hour is looking at how fixing is happening in various ways. We know that Maandamano has been happening, you go to a certain place, and Kamukunji is synonymous with Maandamano and where things are happening. But lately, just looking at what's been happening in terms of the new form of activism, artivism, content creation, activism and all, is social media turning to be the new Kamukunji? That's a question we want to ask with one person who's also very active on social media. You'll find him on TikTok, on Instagram, on X, on Facebook. Where else?
I think that's all.
That's it, eh? As Maiyoo.
Yeah.
Kakan Maiyoo, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you here.
Yeah.
Karibu sana. Jano is going to welcome you with the day's quote,
Okay.
and then we'll get into the conversation.
Right.
You know the drill.
You know the drill. Good.
See.
Yeah, Gloria Steinem was, she's a feminist activist, and she once said, "The truth will set you free, but first it will make you uncomfortable."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But by default, the world has been formed in such a way that it's easy to live in a lie. The truth is always uncomfortable, but it gives you freedom. Because I believe truth needs no defender. It can defend itself. It's only a lie that needs a lot of lawyers.
Wow.
The truth defends itself.
Yes.
That's important.
A lie needs a battery of lawyers.
It's true though. Yeah.
Hey, Kakan, there's something that you've been doing on social media, which is just creating content and sharing content.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that, and then tell us how that landed you in trouble.
Well, yeah. Previously, I've been sharing a lot of motivational content and everything, but I come from a church background, and we are taught a lot about justice, love, righteousness, and normal principles of living, right, with the society. So after Albert Ojwang's death, that's when I just, I wasn't comfortable with everything that was happening around the country. So I decided, let me put my voice out here. Let me put a voice of conscience out here to the government. I hope they listen, and I hope they'll understand. So I started posting, asking for justice towards, or rather around Albert Ojwang's death and everything. I attended all those mandamanos and everything, but I wasn't, of course, I wasn't breaking into shops and everything among the peaceful protesters. It got to a place where you're trying to speak, but you feel these guys are not getting the point. Because you speak against police brutality this time. Kesho unasikia in the news, police have killed someone. It gets into you. And I made a video just speaking directly to the police and the DCIs and everything. Just warning them from a place of, spiritual consciousness. That whatever you're doing, you just know God is watching. And the same pain that you're causing these parents and these families, it will turn around and come towards you. I think that got me into trouble. They didn't get the message as I wanted to broadcast this across, but they thought it was an incitement to violence and also a threat to the police. Yeah.
When you think about it now, do you feel that that's what most people say? Because you're coming from a place of, if you don't do the right thing, it will come back to bite you.
Yes.
But when you reflect on the arrest and everything that happened, do you think to yourself, maybe I could have put it a different way, or do you stand by what you said?
Of course, I stand by whatever I wanted to say. I stand with the message, or the message I wanted to say. But of course, I said it from a place of anger. There were two clips. There's one I said from a place of anger, and then there's another one I said it from a place of conviction. So the one that landed me in trouble is the one that I said from a place of anger. But the message was clear: stop police brutality. Because at the end of the day, actually I got a chance to speak with the DCIs when they arrested me. They were so gentle, I can tell you for free, apart from the fracas around the arrest and everything. After the arrest, they were so gentle. I thought they were taking me to a meeting. They were so calm. They gave me a chance to explain myself. And one thing I told them is this: we have to get to a place as a country where we listen to the truth and try to understand what is the message and what is the content of this truth. Because the current situation in the country, if the police continue with police brutality, what will happen is this: the citizens will rise up and start defending themselves. And the moment that happens, the police will not be able to offer protection to the entire nation. And that has a ripple effect of a nation breakdown. So I told them, if you guys cannot listen to what we are telling you, you are setting this nation for failure. Yeah. So instead of you trying to tame our expression, our concern of all these things, understand what you're saying and just do what you're saying. Because at the end of the day, if the nations go down, or rather if the nation goes down, all of us are going down.
Okay. What was, first of all, what were you charged with when you were arrested?
Well, I think it was alarming publication.
Alarming publication.
Yeah.
Okay, alarming publication. Then did you write a statement?
Not officially.
Not officially.
Yeah.
All right. But you had this discussion with the DCI officers?
Yes, I had a discussion with them.
What was their response?
Tunaelewa whatever you guys are going through, but there's a better way of expressing yourself. There's a better way of handling these issues. You should not incite people to go to the streets and everything. But I don't know. I think people feel like they have not been heard. They say that resistance or rebellion is the voice of the unheard. If you continue ignoring the cries of the same people that gave you an opportunity to lead, they'll start rebelling. And when they're rebelling, you cannot start telling them to start being reasonable, because I think they have crossed the mark of sense. They just want to be heard.
Yeah.
Before we go into now the new Kamkunji, which is online, you said there was a fracas around the arrest.
Yes.
What exactly happened?
They ambushed me. I was going to close my day that day in the office up at Kimathi House. And then I saw them, so I was in a panic. So I tried to escape, and then they caught me at on 6th floor. I asked them, why do you want to arrest me? They did not tell me. So they were busy, or they just wanted to cuff me up, but I was trying to understand why you're arresting me. So in the process of asking them questions, they feel like I'm not respecting the authority they have and everything. So that's the fracas that I experienced. But after they managed to cuff me, I just walked with them.
And then they were calm.
Was there a reaction by other people around?
Yeah. I had to call guys to take videos and just share, because I wasn't sure who these people are. I've never been in this situation before. You are coming from a place of we are just mourning Albert Ojwang and everything. So you don't just take any arrest as a police arrest. Yeah, especially when they're coming in civilian. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know who it is. You said you didn't make an official statement. What do you mean by that?
What happened there? I remember they asked me to explain why I did what I did. So they were typing. I think they were typing everything I was saying. But myself, I didn't make.
You didn't write a statement.
You didn't write.
But you didn't sign off anything, right?
There's something I signed on.
Okay.
I think whatever I was saying, and then after that, they brought me the papers and I signed.
You signed, okay.
Yeah. But it was never used anywhere.
Okay.
You never went to court?
I didn't go to court.
Now, on the 10th of July, the DCI posted on their X account, TikToker arrested for inciting violence against police. Godfrey Mosiaga Kakan Maiyoo, the suspect behind a viral video inciting violence against police officers and their families, has been arrested. The video had been uploaded to his TikTok account. Detectives trailed the suspect to Kimathi House, where he was operating a discreet office under the name Leta Peleka Logistics. You're running a discreet office.
I don't think so.
Clandestine, in the middle of the CBD.
How?
Kimathi House.
Surely.
Kimathi House.
How can it be discreet? When all my bikes are branded Leta Peleka, so.
He's currently in custody undergoing processing pending arraignment. And they posted a photo of a screen grab from that video, but they also posted the video. On the following day, the 11th, they said Maiyoo, who was being detained at Muthaiga police station over a viral video inciting violence against police officers and their families, has been released on cash bail. His arrest sparked a wave of reactions across social media, with the majority condemning his actions as both provocative and harmful. With bail now granted, Maiyoo will await further legal proceedings while out of police custody.
Yes.
But even the people who are against you,
Not really.
Look at the comment. Go read the comments.
Everybody
the
was like,
majority
people.
Yeah,
condemned your actions as both provocative and harmful
Go read now the comments.
under the DCI.
Under the DCI post.
The comments are contrary to that. So, yeah.
There's a disconnect.
There's
there's
a
a
discrepancy. Dunge.
You know what I find a bit odd here is that the DCI actually posted this offensive video, the so-called offensive
Yes.
video, and it's still there. So if we just didn't know
Yeah.
who Kakan Maiyoo is and
Now we knew.
how he's threatening police officers and their families, now actually we can get it from
Yes,
the
yes.
DCI.
I'll be quite honest. I hadn't seen your TikTok video until the DCI
Yeah.
post.
They brought attention to
Yeah.
it.
I know.
Do you think it'll change how you speak going forward? Do you feel like you're more edited, more censored, or are you saying no? I still have the courage to speak out.
Of course, my courage has not been interfered with. I'm still bold. I'll speak my mind, but of course, I'll be wise in the way I'll speak it. Because when you're speaking truth to power, you must be conscious of the consequences of it. Because most of the people in power are not. How can I say it? They are not really wise.
They're not wise.
They are not wise. And the problem of speaking wisdom to quote unquote a fool, they'll take wisdom as an insult, and the reaction would be different.
Yeah.
So of course I have to find a way to speak in a manner that those in power will understand whatever we are saying. Because truly speaking, for the last 1 year, I can tell you the government does not understand what we are saying. And I don't know why.
Umesema wako na ujinga fulani.
Kuna kitu fulani hapo.
They're not really wise.
Kuna kitu fulani. No, they're not wise. Sijasema ni wajinga.
Yeah, he's literally caught himself. He's like, I've come here to say that I'm moving forward with wisdom. So
In a very wisdomous way.
Which is understandable. And I wonder how you'd also speak to Kenya. There's a lot of young people who want to raise their voices and who want to speak up. So what happens now in terms of, and I'm also wondering, is it the tone, the content, or public platforms that are that are targeted? Tone, content, platform, or is it a combination of all of them?
Right.
Just asking all of you.
Because it does look arbitrary, and a lot of the times, like I think of Rose Njeri, easy platform to submit your views, and then now it's being called spam. And I'm like, okay, how did we get from hi, hit the link so that you can submit your views to this, to you're spamming and this is computer misuse? The escalation is very odd, and it does feel arbitrary sometimes. So then it's a good question for you, Kakan, as well, because silence is certainly not an option. I think it's important to speak truth to power and to continue, but then there must also be a level of being measured, operate within the law, obviously. But then yes, beyond that, what more can you do?
I don't know. I also feel the population has different ways of expressing themselves. Those who will shout, those who will express themselves with insult and everything. But something I was trying to explain to the DCI, I believe the reason we have NIS, the NIS is there to gather information and inform the government according to that information. They're called national intelligence, underline intelligence. So if they apply that intelligence to everything that people are saying, they'll be able to understand what people are saying. Don't try and curtail or tame my way of expression. Try and understand what I'm saying. Because if everything was being done well, if the representatives in parliament were doing all these things, because those are the people we elected to do all these things, they're not doing it. That's why we have to come out and do it. Like, we have to express ourselves, because the guys we elected to express these disappointments for us, they're not doing it. They are part of the system itself. So the citizens have got to a place where, hapana, ni sisi ndio tutajitetea wenyewe. And them expressing themselves, it is not a crime. Try and understand what they're saying.
You've said something very important there. All these apparatus that gather intelligence. And that has been the problem consistently, that the pushback is against the how things are being said or where they're being said, not against the what.
Yes.
No one is interrogating the why and the what.
Yes.
But I don't think it's a lack of the intelligence is there. I think there's only a certain point it can get to, right? Is it time to change tact, perhaps? Because if we've been saying the same thing in just different ways, then is it time to change tact and figure out a new way of expressing this dissent? Because I think the intelligence is there. They know exactly what the feeling of the people is. Whether you choose to zero in on Kakan said it's like this and it didn't make me feel nice. You know. So then what do we do? Do we change tact or do we just continue pushing?
Both. Can say both. We change tact in the way you're going to express yourself or the way you're going to champion for our rights. But at the same time, we should not stop expressing ourselves. Because that's the only thing we have right now. We don't have anything else to do as a country right now. Because the people, as I said, the people we expected to represent us or represent our issues are not doing it, you know. And we're in a place where every Kenyan wants to fight for their rights. And you can tame me as Kakan, but you cannot tame the 35 million people. We can discuss here how we are going to operate and everything, but the population is angry. You know, they will express themselves the way they can express themselves. And I think it's upon government to adjust to that reality, because I believe Kenya is changing. The population is more enlightened. You cannot continue lying to them, and then the majority of the population, who are the young people, they're not patient enough. You can see the same trend in workplaces. You know, they change jobs in months. You know, you cannot understand me, naenda.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So that is.
So why would the government think it's an exception?
Well, the government thinks it's an exception, which is not okay. They have to adjust to the new reality, and I think the government is finding it so hard to understand the current generation, how they are responding to it, because they have stuck to the old ways of doing things.
Yeah.
They need to update their software. Let me just say that.
Update the software.
Update the software, they'll crash.
I'm thinking, something you've mentioned, you had a discussion, you know, with the DCI officers, something that is very hard to comprehend when you think of all the headlines that we read regarding, you know, whether it's the police, the DCI, the NIS and things like that. But truth be told, there's a lot of police officers who do their jobs and do their jobs well, or at least try to do their jobs well, who come from a place of good. But there's a big trust divide now with the general public. How do we start bridging that gap? How do we start yes, let me start with bridging the gap, because there's a lot of other questions even on how to perhaps let me just go with how do we bridge the gap. I was like, let me leave that one for later. Let's bridge the gap.
I think this is to any Kenyan who was a relative of police. They should speak to them, because what I picked from the reactions of the DCI at DCI headquarters, they understand what we are saying. You get, but the problem is their work structure has been made in such a way they respond to command. So most of them are acting out of command. As much as they know what you're saying, they know what you're feeling, the command from above has told them to do something else, and they cannot go against it. Yeah. So these are some of the things that we are trusting God in the new government that will be coming in place. I don't know when. The sooner the better. These things will be fixed. Whoever is coming to rule this country, they have to look at all these police reforms. And police reforms are not just about, you know, how the police are responding to violence and everything. It has to start with you know, psychological rewiring of the police. You know, if they understand that they are in service, their work is to ensure the citizens are reformed. Their work is not to ensure the citizens are oppressed. You get, because the citizens are not the terrorists. You know, don't handle your citizens as terrorists. Because at the end of the day, as I was telling them, you as a policeman, You are the only one who is a policeman. Your brother is not a policeman. Your child is not a policeman. You know, your relatives are not policemen. They are part of the society. So you should not handle other Kenyans as if you are from us. Like, I've been sent here to do my work and go back. You know, understand the issues of Kenyans. Because at the end of the day, the same pain, the same pain these Kenyans are going through, the same pain your family is going through.
Everybody's going through the same
Yes.
thing. But you've said that speaking to the individual officers, you can see that they get it.
They get it.
It's the system
Yes.
that, you know, forces them to do what they're doing.
Yes.
Let's continue that conversation shortly. Kakan Maiyoo
Yes.
is a political commentator. He's very active on, you know, social media platforms, all of them as Kan Maiyoo. And we are having a conversation today on this activism that we are seeing on social media. Is social media the new Kamukunji grounds? Keep it here for continuation of this conversation coming up shortly. We are taking a break at 28 minutes after 7 on Nation FM, NTV, and on all our digital platforms. This morning, we are having a digital baraza. So our X broadcast is an X space. Please join the X space from 8 to 10 a.m. We'll be talking about the new wave of school unrests. Back in a moment.
During the break, there was something that you were sharing with us.
Yeah.
Something that...
He came and said that we have a connection. What's a connection?
What's the connection? Kakan?
Yeah. I heard Lati's story, how we started broadcasting and everything. It happens that my dad, at his prime, he was a news anchor. It's called David Arap Maiyoo. He's the one that, you know, how can I say? He was a destiny helper for Latif.
He, you know,
Oh, wow.
in life, there's somebody who holds the door
Yes.
handle and pushes the door open. And, you know, you can look at that in many ways. Oh, they gave me a job. Oh, they didn't. David Arap Maiyoo, who was an anchor in KBC, did not give me a job. He did not do anything, but he listened to me. So here's the story. 1995, 17 going on. You know, having a birthday in August confuses people. So I'm still 17. I've just come and collected my KCSE results. I'm like, all right, yeah, but what I really want to do is I want to be a broadcaster. This young boy from Kimana knows nobody.
In Nairobi.
Yeah, in Nairobi, apart from my relatives. So I walk from my auntie's home and I'm like, where is KBC? I find out where KBC is, Harithuku Road. I go to KBC and I stand at the gate and I see GSU officers menacing. And there are people who are there at the entrance. And I'm like, okay, so this is KBC. So now, as I'm standing there, I see this gentleman walking out of the gates of KBC, David Arap Maiyoo. I had just watched him on TV last night. And I'm like, so let me just approach him.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, sir, excuse me, my name is Eric. He stopped. I was like, yes, Kijana. I said, my name is Eric. I am done with high school. I really would like to become a broadcaster like you. And I just don't know, where does one begin? He stopped there and he told me, have you ever heard of KIMC? I was like, KMC, I know Kenya Media Commission. I was like, no, KIMC, the Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. I said, never heard of it. He said, that's where you go and train to become a broadcaster. Where is it? He told me, it's in South Sea. How do I get to South Sea? Walk to a place called Gill House, find a number 12C Matatu, and then tell them to drop you at KIMC. Go and find out when they're doing their next intake for students into KIMC. Study, and probably you'll find yourself here. How many years later? 30 years later. Here I am.
Oh my goodness, that's an amazing
That is
story.
Interviewing his son.
Interviewing his son.
Interviewing his son.
That
David
is so
Arap
full
Maiyoo.
circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Kakan, we can see where you get it from.
Like even if you tried to keep your voice in, you can't. It's in your DNA.
It's hard.
It's inside.
Yes.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
very hard, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's lovely. And you're right. There's those people who they don't know. I don't know if your dad knows, you know, what he did for Eric at that time.
He, of course, he did not know. In fact, I reached out to him many years later, and I told him, you know what? You do not know. You have absolutely no idea. But you're the reason I'm here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We're grateful for such people.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Back to what you're doing, which you also don't know. But I'm sure with the content that you're creating, with the things that you're saying and posting this on social media. You've been doing motivational talk. Now you're also motivating in terms of just political awareness and wokeness. There's something that you're doing around it.
Yeah.
But what drove you into this? You said after you saw Albert Ojwang's arrest, you were like, I've got to tweak my message.
Yes.
I've been doing a lot of motivation talk. Now I'm going to tweak my message and have a direct conversation with the ruling class. Okay? But do you think many since June last year have become like you?
Yes, many have, in low tones. Of course, guys are still afraid of the consequences of them speaking. But for me, I speak from a place of spiritual consciousness. You know, I don't just post anything. You know, I post things out of inspiration. And I believe it's my work as a Christian, as a believer, to speak the truth. Because when you read Psalm 89, it talks about God and the foundation of God. It says, righteousness and justice are the foundations of his throne. Truth and mercy goes before him. So I cannot be quiet, when I'm serving a God whose foundation is righteousness and justice. So when these principles are being abused, naturally, I'll get agitated. Why are we not seeing justice? Why are we being lied to? You know, it's so hard for me to be quiet around areas where these things are being abused. And I think as a church, yes, I'm a church. So as a church, I have to speak. It is my moral duty to speak, because I believe the Church of God is the custodians of, justice. We are the ones to lead the nation in the ways of God. Our work is not to be in the same line with government. Our work is to be in line with God. The church is not here to support the government. The church is here to tell the government the truth. The only person or the only entity we are supposed to be, standing right with is God, not the state. So I was coming from that point. Like I cannot afford to continue being quiet, because I feel like I am failing God and I am failing my generation.
Is the church beginning to get it? I know we've spoken to some people who are rooted in faith, but there's obviously been other conversations of people wanting the church to do more, to stand more with people. Do you think they're having a crisis of faith? What more do you think the church needs to do?
I think the older generation have been brought in this system. So them adjusting to the new awakening that God is doing is hard. Actually, I was in that place where I found myself trying to condemn the older generation, only to come to the realization that maybe this agitation I'm having is because we are the new generation that God is lifting to speak on his behalf. Because the older generation have done their part. They have taught us the principles of godliness and everything. So the younger generation of Christians, we should pick from there and speak for the next generation. We should not allow the next generation to feel they don't have a place to run to, And I think the church will take back its power of leading the nation. The nation meaning every institution, to a place where we should be the official opposition. I believe the church should be the official opposition. When things are not going right in a nation, we should not be quiet. All the church leaders should join hands and tell the government, this is not right. If you continue doing this and this, we will have to marshal people, and defend their rights. So I think that is where the new generation of church leaders will be standing on. We will be standing on the truth, and nothing but the truth. Yes.
It's a shift, and we've tried to really interrogate it. I'm thinking now of how to marshal people, because everyone seems to be trying to do something in their own corner, right? Young people in their religious spaces are trying to push for change. And then as a result, you see whether it's SUPKEM or the Interreligious Council or church leaders speaking out. And in the individual churches, that's one thing. Then you'll have people in their places of even work. I saw someone saying, I went out with my colleagues, I got a little bit drunk, and I started saying to them, have you registered as a voter? That's what comes to mind, right? Everyone in their corner is doing something. But how do we marshal it all together in your view? And what role can social media play to marshal this call for change?
As Latif said, you know, social media has become the new Kamkuji, you know. And there's something that is happening in this nation that we cannot really explain. That the nation is speaking in one voice. This has never happened before, where the entire population are speaking in one voice. And anyone that has this consciousness of right and wrong and everything, let them share on social media. Because I believe social media is an equalizing platform where everyone, you can meet the rich, meet their, you know, it does not sort of separate, discriminate the rich from the poor and everything. Your voice is heard if you post there. And actually, if the government can focus on what people are saying on social media, not to look for offense, but to look for what they are saying, I think the government will be, you know, in one or the other, will be winning in terms of understanding what people are saying. Because everything is there. Guys are posting. And they should not curtail, you know, freedom of expression. Let them understand what you're saying. Because at the end of the day, the truth be told, whether they like it or not, things have to change in this country. They cannot continue doing things the same way. They cannot continue doing things the same way. And I'm glad there's something you asked earlier, should we change tactics and everything? I'm glad there are leaders who are rising, who are speaking our voices, e.g. Maraga and Omtata. I believe their principles of leadership resonates with every cry that Kenyans have been having right now. And I think that's why we are seeing a majority of people that have been championing for justice and everything are drawing towards them. And I think right now as a country also, we should look to a candidate that we can support in the next election. I don't know if the election will come in 2027 next year. We pray that it comes earlier. I don't know what will happen. Because
we had a Shikameka who said August 2026. Well, I'll send you that clip. So you see that maybe you're not so crazy.
Because we cannot afford to continue, you know, suffering. But we will champion our rise through our leaders. Of course, I'm urging every Kenyan to listen to Maraga and Omtata, and you know, just see what they can offer us, and let us all marshal behind them, because they stand for what we've been crying for. They stand for what
right now they are on separate ends, which brings the question of they're on right now. You know, as much as a lot of people resonate with both of them, they are independently running for president. I don't think any of them has dismissed that they could join forces, but it also speaks to the opposition and how many factions we have. I don't know if young people feel represented, by either Amaraga and Omtata, or this united opposition that has everyone from Rigathi Gachagua to Martha Karua to Kalonzo Musyoka. Do young people feel represented anywhere there? And do we need to just have one person to rally behind?
Of course, we need to have one person to rally behind. But when you look at the united opposition, the thing we are getting as young people is there's nothing new they're going to offer. It is not a new coalition. It is not a new package for us, you know. And one of the things that guys are really pushing on is we need to have a fresh start. So for the better of the country, I believe the united opposition people should find a way of endorsing either of these candidates. That is what I can say. Because even if, God forbid, they succeed in getting government, trust me, the opposition they get from the public will be double what the current government is receiving. So for the good of the nation, for the good of the nation, we should have a new candidate or rather a new president, someone who has never been in that political limelight and everything.
Right.
And we all feel safe. I can tell you, we all feel safe under Maraga. He brings an aura of, you know, fatherhood, you know, safety, you know, understanding and everything. Which we are not getting from this other government.
Yeah.
This government is very abrasive.
True.
Yeah.
But quick question, what are we looking for? Aside from aura,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Maraga has really played, you know, he's had fun with this whole thing. Because at first it was, oh, Maraga doesn't have aura, doesn't have raise, and he's like, ndo you charisma up and raise if that's what you wanted.
Yes.
But what would be the top leadership qualities, one, that people are looking for, so that it's not Rigathi Gachagua or Kalonzo Musyoka
Yes.
or Maraga or Mtata.
Yes.
It's whichever one of them has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I can get behind.
yes.
That and ideologies as well.
Yeah. First of all, Kenyans have become enlightened in terms of understanding their rights and everything, and they have come to discover that the trouble in governance of this country comes from a place of leaders not obeying the constitution. You know, we need someone that has the goodwill of respecting and obeying the constitution. Maraga has a track record of obeying the constitution and fighting for the constitution and everything. You know, one of his famous quotes the greatest of a nation lies to his fidelity to the rule of law and strict adherence to the constitution or vice versa. Yeah, because we've come to discover the constitution is the biggest manifesto that a president can boast with. Wachana na hizi zingine wamesema kutenga and everything. Those are necessary. You know, the constitution has everything that we need as a country in terms of revenue distribution and everything. So that's why you find people are pushing their manifestos so that they can work outside the constitution. You know, but if the constitution is followed, I believe everything will be well in this country. Fundamentally, that is the basic.
The start and finish.
Yes.
Should young people join political parties? We ask this to as many people as we can,
Yes.
because it's also a bit, people have different views. They're either saying, no, we'll stand behind Maraga. That's my part.
Yes.
But others are saying, if you really want to participate, even to have your voices as
Yes.
part of the ballot, as some of the options, then you must join a political party.
Yes.
What are your views on that?
It is a hard reality that we have to face as young people. If you desire to join, you know, or rather, if you desire to bring change in one or the other, if you want to be a leader, you have to join a political party. There are many political parties out here. Many political parties, people can search which they want. But in terms of rallying behind Maraga, we run behind him, whichever political party he'll be in. That's what I can say. For instance, I might, you know, of course I have interest in leadership and governance. I'll have to look for a political party one of these fine days, because it's not enough to shout from the fence. We have to find a way of getting into the system and change it. Yeah, because it's an opportunity for young people, especially 2027 or whichever date this election will be. People want a fresh start. So for every young person that wants to join this governance and everything, they should find a political party, one that stands with their or resonates with their values and everything, and join it. Yeah, we have to join the political parties.
So you'll be running for office in 2027?
Yeah, God willing. But I'll go to Trans Nzoia County. Yeah.
You'll go home.
I have to start from home. Yeah, I have to start from home.
Start somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. I'd like to tell you a recent story of something that has happened elsewhere in Africa. 2020, Nigeria. There's a squad of police called SARS that was, you know, just doing all these things that were bad, just like our squads, abducting people, you know, killing people, extortion, and so on and so forth. The young people of Nigeria got to a point, Afika, Hapa, and they poured onto the streets, #EndSARS, right?
Yes.
And it became a big thing because there were millions of them who poured onto the streets. That triggered political awakening. And they said, no, we've got to change things. And they said, when's our next election? 2022. 2022, watajua wajui. Okay? So people started organizing, a lot of them online. Social media platforms, X, Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, and all, organizing, #EndSARS, #TakeBackNigeria.
Yeah.
Okay? They identified a candidate that they resonated with. He was called Peter Obi.
Yeah, Obi.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And the people who liked Obi were calling themselves the Obedience.
Remember.
#Obedience.
Yes.
And they were like, all right, now guys, are we ready for this election? Yes. What do we need to do? We need to register as voters. There was a lot of mobilization on social media, influencers, like the Nigeria version of Janet Bogwa and Mariam Bishar were out there, and you know, Kakan, they were all there. People went and registered as voters. By the time the election was coming, 93,469,008 Nigerians were registered to vote.
Oh.
Okay? Obedient was, of course, now the hashtag.
Yes.
Obedient.
Yes.
The other two candidates, there was Bola Tinubu and another one, old people. They were considered, these are the old ones. They belong to the old political parties, PDP and APC. And whereas Peter Obi was under the Labour Party, it was the party of choice. Election day came, and there was a lot of conversations around it. And the voter turnout on election day, from 93,469,008 registered voters, 25,286,616 turned out to vote. Bola Tinubu won with over 30%. Peter Obi came in third. All this conversation and agitation on social media ended up with Obedience not turning out to vote. So how do you take those lessons and apply them in Kenya? First, with register to vote.
Definitely.
And then turn up the vote.
We should not allow ourselves to forget why we went to the streets. Because the moment we allow that to happen, someone else will come and sell us a lie. And forget, we went to the street because we wanted good governance, and good governance is what we are sticking on to the end. So as much as we're going to register, which I'm urging every Kenyan to register as a voter, let us not forget why we've been fighting for good governance. Because if we forget, someone else will come and change our minds. You know, they'll come and, you know, sell us something else. Let us stick and hold to whatever we want, which is good governance. And none of these people in government, none in the opposition, has shown the goodwill of offering that. You know, we should not forget that. We should not forget that. Having that in mind, it will inform us in the candidate we are going to elect. Because I believe Nigerians maybe, you know, they were acting out of it's called what? I'm trying to look for the word. It was a sort of a euphoria moment.
It was wave.
Yeah, it was a wave and everything. But I believe in Kenya what is happening right now, from a spiritual aspect, we call it revival. Politically, it's called a revolution. I don't think this wave is going to calm down. Yeah. Kenyans will feel at peace the moment they elect a new government. That is the only time we'll feel at peace. And let us not sell the new Kenya we want by allowing ourselves to be lied to again. Let us not. I try to educate people in this manner. Kenyans should understand that we are the owners of this country. I use an analogy of a company. Kenya is like a company, and this company has owners. The owners of this company are Kenyans. The workers we've employed in this company to make sure that this company makes profit and does not crash is the government. You get? So at the end of the day, with that consciousness, we should understand whoever we put in these positions of governance, they will either break this company or make it succeed. And let us not forget that we had this CEO here, we had this MP here last time. He did not perform. And then you bring him back to the company. It will crash. And unfortunately the unfortunate thing is, when a company goes down, the owners are the ones who pay the price, not the workers in the companies.
Right.
The shareholders.
The shareholders.
The shareholders. There's
Yes.
some comments. I know we have
Yes.
to let you go just now. That Niger story is a clear indicator that hype will not win elections.
Hype.
Mashinani ndio votes ziko.
Exactly.
Kuna zile kura za Tharaka Nithi zikiharibia.
Ni kweli, ni
That's
kweli.
the Kikombe. Felix Omboki has said we don't need aura. Kenya needs a calm, sober, and focused leader,
Yes.
not political comedians with insults from podiums.
True, true.
Spectator politics should be shunned. And then finally, Lenny says politics is a vehicle to leadership. In Kenya, we are always in politics, and thus no leadership.
Yep.
Shindigiri said something interesting, and I think he's speaking to the risk conversation. Leaders are supposed to be boring, like Joe Biden. I don't like Trump or Obama. To him, that's a red. If you have too much risk, that's a red flag. I think it's something to separate. I don't think it's a crime to be charismatic, but we do get
That's
swept
a red
up.
flag.
Yes. No. We do get swept up though, and forget to look at what's underlying. So it's okay to question, why do we need David Maraga to have riz? Why do you need your lead? What have the leaders that are so charismatic
Yes,
done for you?
Done, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
The people who are able to sweep crowds.
Yes.
So far, what have they done?
Yeah.
Wamefanya.
Wamefanya?
Kakan Maiyoo, your next leader from Trans Nzoia County, has been our guest.
I hope to join Natembea in helping Trans Nzoia become a better place.
I did not say you're the next leader of Trans Nzoia. I just said you're
so-
next leader
yeah,
from
so-
Trans Nzoia.
From.
In whatever
I don't
whatever
want
seat
to
you're
create
seeking,
opponents.
whether it's MCA all the way, even if it's the president,
Yeah.
but your voting station, your polling station is somewhere in Trans Nzoia.
Yes.
Very
And
good.
I'd like to say this. I think if the government will want to learn how development is done, they should learn from Governor Muranga and Governor in Trans Nzoia County. Yes.
Thank you.
Asante
Kazi
sana.
wamefanya. Keep it here. In the next hour, join our X space. If you're following us on X, we are live at NTV Kenya. We'll be having a conversation about school unrest. We need to understand what's going on in our schools. We've got several stories of schools that have been closed as a result of recent unrest, student unrest. That's the conversation coming up next. It's 8 a.m.